I'm Richard Hawkes. I'm the Interim Chief Executive of Oxfam GB. It's Oxfam. I've worked in international development for more than 30 years. Oxfam is one of the most important, potentially the most influential development organisations in the world. And at the moment, the world needs a really strong Oxfam. The sector needs a really strong Oxfam. And so this role is one of the most privileged positions to have in the sector. And so it wasn't so much about what attracted me, it was more about whether or not I would be able to do it. But in terms of it being an attractive role, there is, at this moment in time where we are in the world, Oxfam is such an important organisation, and to have the privilege of being a part of that is absolutely incredible. I've already had lots of meetings with Oxfam colleagues and different stakeholders and funders and partners and so on, and the message is pretty consistent. We've got a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of optimism. The world needs Oxfam to be as strong as possible, and I think there's real momentum in the organisation. There's tremendous goodwill out there in the wider sector, amongst our partners, amongst colleagues across the organisation. Everybody really wants Oxfam to be as brilliant as it can be. Yeah, it's been Oxfam's had a challenging period, but it's always going to be challenging. International development is challenging, and if you're trying to achieve the kinds of things that Oxfam is trying to achieve, it's never going to be easy, and that's fine. Organisations have ups and downs and go through challenges, and it's the resilience of the organisation is coming through that and being brilliant in the future. And there's so much positivity and so much enthusiasm and so much momentum at the moment that the coming years, the years ahead, can be brilliant for Oxfam. And as I say, the world and the sector really needs that. I've always thought it's really important that leaders in organisations are focused on what the organisation is seeking to achieve, and also the way that we go about trying to do that. So organisational culture is really important. The way that our colleagues are feeling about their jobs and about the contribution they're making is really important. The way that we work and the way that we do things. And so it's incredibly important for me in this role to keep focusing on that. Yes, of course, it's important to keep focusing on the impact we seek to make, the humanitarian work, the development work, the influencing work, all of that is crucial. But we're going to make a much stronger impact if we lead in the right way, if we're very aware of ourselves. Personally, I'm hugely aware of the privileged positions that I've enjoyed, the privileges that I've had throughout my life, and I hope I have enough self-awareness to know that others haven't enjoyed those privileges, and that I lead in a way that is much more about developing strong relationships, about collegiate leadership, about involving others as much as possible, about communicating to colleagues, about people feeling that it's a safe and a positive environment in which to work, that we're supporting everybody in terms of their own mental health and staff well-being and so on. If we get all of those things right, then Oxfam, any organisation, is going to be much stronger and able to make a much stronger impact. There's pressure not just on UK aid budgets, the global aid budgets. There's a lot of pressure on a lot of funding has been reduced in the last couple of years. A lot of governmental funding from governments around the world, and that's put more pressure on trusts and foundations and other sources of income. But there is money out there, and great organisations are attracting money to be able to deliver great programmes and do great work. And Oxfam is Oxfam. Oxfam is one of the greatest development organisations in the world, and what we've got to do is keep communicating that, keep letting people know about the things that we're doing in some of the most challenging parts of the world, the difference that we're making. And I'm incredibly confident if we can get that message across to the public and to lots of other funders, that there's every reason for us to be able to demonstrate why we're such an influential and important organisation. And despite all of those global funding challenges and other challenges, that we're going to be successful in the years ahead. So obviously the main thing that I want to achieve is, in a year's time, I want Oxfam to be in a much stronger position than it is at the moment. But I think we can be more ambitious than that as well. I think there's so much goodwill and so much positivity in the organisation, in the sector, amongst our partners, amongst our colleagues across the global Oxfam Confederation, to really support Oxfam GB to become even more influential. I think there's every reason for us to be positive about exploring new possibilities with raising funds, about looking at our profile, about being out there much more, and about really lifting the morale and the confidence of the team. And I think if we do all that, we can have a great year, and in a year's time we'll look back and think, yeah, we're in a much better place, and we're also really set up to make an even bigger impact in the years beyond that.